710 ESPN Seattle presents Bob and Groz's One More Thing.
Powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
What's happened to recruiting?
Struggling.
I'm not going to ask you what's happened to recruiting because you and I, we have more of a cursory knowledge of stuff like that. However, it did come to our attention that in the wake of the Nick Holt firing, which seemed like good news, Washington is missing out, and Bob Condotta wrote about it in the Times. We talked about him on the show, and the podcast is available, that Washington all of a sudden is missing out on some blue chip recruits.
Yeah, and to you, what's that a sign of? Is this situation here, this institution, less appealing now? I would think it's more appealing considering they came from a winless season. Now they're a bowl team. You figure they can't get any worse defensively. I guess they could.
Sure.
We don't expect that they will get worse defensively. So it would seem like a prime place to play.
Well, let me put it to you this way. I mean, I don't read as much into it as a lot of others do. Last year, Washington had all five of what were considered the top five recruits in the state. All five of them came. Sarkisian's been here for a couple of years now. Recruiting in the state hasn't been an issue. With Tyrone Willingham, when he was here, he didn't even bother to focus on recruiting in the state, and it was something of an issue, but I don't think it is now. There is a new reality. Bob talked about it. We've talked about it. With Oregon right now is the place to go if you're not from Washington. It's got the best facilities. It's got the best reputation. It's playing the best football right now.
Boy, Husky fans hate to hear that, don't they?
I hate saying it, but it's a fact. Don James and those guys never, ever, ever lost a player that they wanted to Oregon, or for that matter, Oregon State. And now it's different.
So there's a new sheriff in town. That's what you're saying.
Well, there's never going to be, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Not true, and never going to be true again. You're never going to be in that circumstance where Oregon is going to be as irrelevant as they were back in the 60s and the 70s for the Huskies.
So you're unfazed by this. Not a big deal.
I'm unfazed by it because they've been good recruiting locally. They've still got to, look, if they're going to be successful, they're still going to be able to recruit in Southern California, and they're still good at that. Now, if this happens again next year, we'll do this again, we'll have a different conversation. But for 1 year, missing out on a couple of top guys in the state, it's not good. It's not necessarily a trend. No reason to freak out.
So this time next year, we're going, this is a disaster.
We're
Something
freaking out.
Got to change.
We're losing our bleep.